You may have heard Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra perform it last year during the Star-Spangled Symphony at Conner Prairie, and you can hear more of James Beckel's music debuting soon. When you hear that,
Yes.
do you swell with pride? Do you go, oh, I wish I would have done this? How does that work when somebody composes music that the whole world then listens to?
It's just an honor to have a piece played by a great ensemble like the Coast Guard Band or the Indianapolis Symphony, which is, you know, world-class orchestra. I mean, the orchestra, I played in the ISO for 49 years, and listening to them now, they're better than they've ever been. And I don't think you could hear a better concert if you went up to Chicago. They're fascinatingly wonderful. So I recommend everyone to show up and catch, if not this concert, all of their concerts.
Let's talk about this concert that he mentions. All right, so Memoirs in Time. A concerto for double bass. This is an interesting concept. Kind of take me through what inspired you and where it is now.
Yes. Well, our wonderful principal bassist, Rufang Lee, had for 20 years, while I was still in the orchestra, saying, I want you to write, you know, we'd play one of my pieces and she'd come to me and say, I want you to write a bass concerto. I said, great, let's do it. And I saw her a couple years ago and she said, I still want you to write that bass concerto. And I'm going like, well, don't wait too long.
You're retired, by the way. You're supposed to be sitting on the couch eating corn chips.
So it finally came to fruition, and I'm so excited about that and honored to be able to have this now current orchestra play this piece. And Rufang is an amazing bass player. You really have to come and hear her play. She almost makes the bass sound like a cello. I mean, she's just phenomenal technique and sound. It's really wonderful.
You talk about her skills. When people went to the orchestra when you were still active as a musician, they would have seen you playing trombone. Not being a musician, is that a difficult crossover from being sort of a specialist in brass to knowing how to put together music like that for such a big stringed instrument?
No, it was symbiotic. I mean, I'm sitting in the orchestra and hearing all of the colors and sounds of great composers putting that together with the orchestra. Trombonists sometimes have a lot of rest, so sometimes in rehearsal I'd be having the score and saying, oh, how did Dvorak do that? That's cool, you know. And when you think about it, you're writing a piece and you're trying to, out of your mind, know how to notate it so the musician will hear in their mind what you're hearing in your mind. So all of that is complicated, and to be able to know those sounds and what you can and probably should stay away from was very helpful.
Is it nice to be able to work with the musician who will debut it? Is it collaborative in that way?
It really is, because sometimes, you know, the calligraphy of it, that you can't exactly, well, you know, an accent on this, well, how much accent,
right?
You know, and how much weight and how much crescendo. And so to be able to work with Rufang in that regard is wonderful, because you can really say, no, that's too much crescendo. And, you know, sometimes she'd say, I want more crescendo here. I go, okay. But it's a collaborative work. She added so much to the piece after I heard her play it. She makes it a better piece.
It's great to see your eyes light up as you talk about it still to this moment. Opportunity to see it again. Memoirs in Time by James Beckel. Symphony No. 5 by Tchaikovsky as well. Tonight, tomorrow, Hilbert Circle Theater. All the information that you need in terms of ticketing, pricing, things like that. WishTV.com right now. I just checked. The story is up. We'll have more throughout the course of the day and as we head into this. Congratulations already on a work succeeded. Now we'll see. Do you get sort of like your best sort of reaction from the crowd, or do you know this is where you want it to be?
Well, you never know, but you hope, and I think the audience really liked the piece. I tend to write music that's very accessible. Yeah. And a lot of compliments yesterday, so I was honored that people liked the piece.
Well, those of us who are sort of neophytes to classical music, thank you for making it accessible. It's a nice entry point to the more complicated and complex
stuff. Come to the ISO.
He also, people know him as professor as well, spent many years at DePaul University, so if you recognize that, he's an academic as well. Thanks for spending time with us on Daybreak.